Hey there, I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate.
And today we're taking a look at Kingdomino Origins by Blue Orange Games.
You've heard of Kingdomino. Well, Kingdomino Origins is the next game in the line of Kingdomino games. And obviously with Origins, this goes all the way back to the beginning of time. Cavemen, prehistoric time frame here. You are going to be building your huts for your cavemen to live in. You want the different dominoes to match up with the different types of land, just like you did in Kingdomino. Except this time you don't have a castle and you're not getting the crowns. You're wanting fire to make your cavemen comfortable. But those fire tokens are not going to be stationary. They move. They move from volcanoes. I'll show you exactly how that works down below. We'll come back and share our thoughts on Kingdomino Origins from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. All right, here's Kingdomino Origins from Blue Orange Games. Let me show you how this new version of a classic from Bruno Cathala works. In this game, you are going to have lots of extra components that you did not have in the original Kingdomino. This game comes with 3 different modes. There's the Discovery mode, Totem mode, and Tribe mode. I'm going to explain to you the differences in each of those modes. I'm not going to explain the basic rules, as that is pretty much the same as in Kingdomino, and if you don't know how Kingdomino works, I would encourage you to watch one of the Kingdomino videos out there. But in this game, you are going to have a hut, a starting tile in which your hut goes on, and you're going to have 2 caveman meeples of your player color. Check out these caveman meeples. They are really cool. I really like them. Anyhow, you're going to keep one, and you're going to place one over here, and this is going to determine a turn order. And so in turn order, players are going to select their tiles after 4 have been placed and put in numerical order. Again, these are the basic rules for Kingdomino, and players are going to draft these tiles in turn order, and the order in which you take from, so say black goes here, I go here, and pink, green would go next, green goes there, and pink goes here. Now this is going to be the turn order for next round. When you connect your domino tiles, you take them and you place them anywhere you want in your kingdom, so long as the tiles match next to the tiles that they're on. Your starting hut tile is wild, and it can match any tiles. So matching tiles, again, looks sort of similar to like that, if you will. You could not do that. That would be illegal. And unlike in regular Kingdomino, where there are crowns on the tiles that would give you the points that you score at the end of the game, you are looking for fire, because you want your fire to make your cavemen happy. Now, all of that is pretty much the same as in regular Kingdomino. What you get in, let's start with the Discovery mode. You're not going to worry yourself with any of this over here or any of the resources. You are going to worry yourself with these brand new volcano tiles. Now, you get 3 different types of volcanoes. You've got ones that have the one spout on them. You've got ones with 2 spouts and ones with 3 spouts. And the reason that these are important to know is because depending on which one you draft, you are going to get a certain token. Now, if you draft a 3, you're going to get 3 flames. So there's your scoring icons again. And you'll see on the back of this, it tells you 1 arrow. So what that means is wherever you place this in your kingdom, let's say I place it like this, which would be legal because I can have this touching the wild space here. I place my flame, my 3 flames, and it can move 1 space from this tile in any orthogonal direction, or I can also go diagonal if I had tiles here. So I could go right here like that, and this is going to stay there for the rest of the game. And now I have 3 flames, which again are the scoring, the way you score. So if I had this tile here, I would have 4 flames in this jungle region, which is really nice. The 2 spout one is going to give you 2 flames, and you can move up to 2 spaces with it. The 1 spout is going to only give you 1 flame, but it can move up to 3 spaces. That's the Discovery mode, real basic, real easy. Let's go to Totem mode. In Totem mode, you are going to play with all the same rules of Discovery mode. You are just going to have these tiles here. Now, you are also going to have the resources. If you'll look on the tiles here, they're going to show you little silhouettes of the different resources. The icy pond here is going to give you fish. The jungle is going to give you mushrooms. The rocky area is going to give you flint.
The desert gives you nothing, as does the volcanoes. The volcanoes don't give you anything. And the fields here, they are going to give you woolly mammoths. Anytime you place one into your area, say I do something like this, voila, I will take the matching resource, placing it on that tile, like that. I do the same for everything that I have here. After you end your turn, if you happen to have the most of any one particular type of resource, you gain the totem. So let's say that I have the most woolly mammoths, and I hold on to this until someone gets more woolly mammoths than I do. If I hold this at the end of the game, I gain that number of points. Each one resource is worth 1 point at the end of the game. Fire will burn up your resources, however. Oh no, the woolly mammoth is dead. It caught on fire. So you want to make sure you're extra careful about where you're placing those fire tokens. Now that's the totem mode. You cannot combine totem mode with the final mode, which is tribe mode. You do not play with these totems. You do play with the resources, however, and you are going to have cavemen. So let's bring this board over here. You're going to have all these cavemen shuffled up. You're going to reveal 4, and this is a market. And on your turn, you can pay resources to gain cavemen from the market. So what do these cavemen do, and how do you get them? Well, you can pay any 2 non-matching resources to gain one of these from the market, or alternatively, you can pay 1 of every kind to get which specific one you want from the deck here. And so these score in different ways. This particular one is going to score you 4 points for every mushroom resource that is touching this caveman surrounding it. So you can see that right there. This one's going to give you 3 for woolly mammoths in the same way. This one here is going to give you 2 points if you have it in a line of other cavemen. And so let's see, I will get another one here that scores. This one right here is going to give you 1 point for fire surrounding it. This one's going to give you 2 points for any resource surrounding it, and 3 points for fish surrounding it. Let's see this one here. Okay, so how these are going to work, they are touching each other. I would not have it on a volcano, though. We'd have it like that. And so this is, you want to have the biggest area of connecting cavemen. They want to stay together in a tribe. And so because they are connecting, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3 times 2. That's 6 points for this particular connection of cavemen. If I had another one here, we would keep going and so on and so forth. So you can see how you can get a lot of points from your cavemen. That's the 3 different modes that you have in this. Take a look at those resource tokens. Very nice. Well done on the production here. Woolly mammoths, flint, mushrooms, and fish. That's what you get here in Kingdomino Origins. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this.
All right, we're back. And now we're going to share our thoughts on Kingdomino Origins from a gamer and non-gamer's perspective. And usually we would be showing you some gameplay footage, but we've already done a playthrough video on this game. And if you haven't checked that out, go ahead and click the eye in the top right corner and it will show you that video. So Sam, you're very familiar with Kingdomino. That's one of the games that we have played a countless number of times. We've played Queendomino a few times. We've played the Roll and Write. We really like the Kingdomino series of games.
I think once we realized that I liked tile placement, we just ran.
We went with that and we stuck with it. Yeah, that's been one of those types of games that really works well with us.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts when you saw Kingdomino Origins?
I mean, we've played so many, and I do think I'm still a purist when it comes to Kingdomino. I like the original game.
Okay.
But this one took a lot more, put a lot more into it.
Sure.
And I liked it. I didn't honestly think that I would when you're explaining all the extra pieces, because Kingdomino originally, it's an easy game. It's very easy, very simple. And so I was a little afraid that they were just adding too much to
muddying it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I didn't like that idea.
And that was my experience with Queendomino.
Yeah.
When we played Domino so many years ago, I felt like it was... Everybody knew Kingdomino was very light, it was very easy, and they wanted a crunchier experience, and Queendomino was that. But for me, it felt like it was a a lot of mechanics, a lot of things thrown into it that just didn't flow too well for me.
Because there's nothing wrong with a simple game.
No, there's not. And especially one that works great like Kingdomino. So Kingdomino Origins comes along, and it's another crunchier game, but it flows. It works together better than what Queendomino felt like for me. And I know there's some of you out there that are probably saying, Queendomino's a great game. What are you talking about? It is. It's a good game.
And we've played it multiple times.
I like Kingdomino Origins. For me, it's the one that sits on top of all of them.
I still think I'm Kingdomino, but this would be...
Right up there with it?
Yeah, right next to it.
Okay. Yeah, for me, guys, the different modules in this game, the base module with this one is maybe just a half a tick up from base Kingdomino. Not the Age of Giants expansion, just straight Kingdomino.
Yeah.
This is just a little tiny click up in complexity. You throw in the other two modules, and this is maybe just a notch below Queendomino in complexity. So this is kind of right, the good sweet spot in between those two games, I feel like. And it worked well for us. I loved the resources in this game and trying to use those resources to get the Caveman Award, to get the most resource award, depending on which module you're playing with. That was a simple enough mechanic that made the choices so much more meaningful and important in this game. For me, it really knocked it out of the park. Sam, so let me just get your thoughts. I mean, Kingdomino, it's real basic. You're trying to match those lands, trying to get those crowns. With this one, was the strategy, the idea of what you wanted to accomplish, was it as straightforward as what you experienced with Kingdomino?
It was as straightforward. It was just a notch above, a little bit more complicated, or a little bit more thought had to go into it.
Okay.
But it was easy to understand, but you had to think a little bit harder. So I think it is. Once you've played Kingdomino, which is such a simple game, so many times, I think this is a good natural step up because it just pushes you to think a little bit harder.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, I think some people will ask the question, do you even need this game? You know, if you have all of the other games out there, is it necessary to have Kingdomino Origins?
Do we need...
do we need any game for that matter? That question, yeah. I would say this much. If you really enjoy the Kingdomino series of games, you're probably going to like this game. You've probably had it on your radar. You might have even, you might already have bought it. If you're somebody who's dabbled in some Kingdomino, this is a perfect game to give yourself a new twist on the series of Kingdomino. Just the mechanic of building your 5x5 grid and multiplying a region, a number of spaces by a certain thing, crowns, fire, whatever it may be. This really works with that mechanic.
Yeah.
And it works well with non-gamers?
Yeah, I think it's great. And I think the age range on this one is a little bit higher, whereas Kingdomino we can easily play with our two oldest. This one probably just our oldest, just because it's a little bit more thinky.
Yeah.
But it's a good family game as well.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think the box says ages 8 and up, and I think that's pretty accurate. Our 9-year-old can get this one. Our 7-year-old, she's not quite there yet.
Yeah.
But she gets Kingdomino, and so I'm really looking forward to the day when we can play this together with both of them, obviously with our younger kids too. Yeah, this, I think I would agree with you. This is a good family game. Let's get into pros and cons with this one real quick, Sam. What were the things you really enjoyed about Kingdomino Origins?
I mean, it still is Kingdomino. It's very much Kingdomino, and so I like that. It's very simple. The idea is simple, and I like the extra components that are thrown in. It just makes it more exciting.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. The production value is off the charts with this game too.
Yeah.
As is the case with all of Blue Orange games.
Yeah.
So, anything that wasn't too great?
I didn't do a whole lot with
the cavemen.
The cavemen. I felt like that was just almost an afterthought. I guess if you paid more, I don't know, maybe I didn't pay enough attention to it. It felt like an afterthought to me.
So yeah, going back to those modules, I think, Sam, what you're saying is that the first two modules really work well for you because those are the ones you don't play with the cavemen.
Yeah.
It's that third one that maybe that's the extra module that is
just added a little
too much. Okay. Yeah. And I can see that for sure. You like the resources, that's where the second module comes in.
Yeah.
The fire moving around, that's the first one, obviously. So, yeah, I can get that. Anything else?
No, I mean, other than that, I mean, it's nice to have options in this game.
For sure.
Of how you want to play it. And it's, Kingdomino, it's always going to be good with non-gamers, in my opinion.
For sure. All right, so scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. What do you give Kingdomino Origins?
I mean, it's pretty high. I'd probably give it 8.0.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it's one that I know we're going to keep on our shelves, and I know we're going to play again.
This has already got a spot on the shelf. It's not leaving. I'm keeping this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I really love Kingdomino, and when my kids ask to play it, I'm ready to play it. This might replace Kingdomino, quite honestly, for me.
Maybe.
So I am giving this one about an 8.2 or so, somewhere in that range. It's not the greatest game of all time by any means.
It's just really enjoyable. It's quick.
It's easy to get to the table. Yeah. There's hardly any setup. I mean, you just put the tiles in a pile and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
Man, it just works.
Yeah.
It works. It's a good, solid experience, and I really enjoy it. So that is Kingdomino Origins from Blue Orange Games. Go check it out.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.